Jessica here from Stitching Colours, welcome back. Today I am going to do my second attempt at a WIP parade for you all. So this is attempt 2 after the last one just didn't end up getting edited or anything like that. And today is the 15th of July 2023. So over the last 6 months since my last WIP parade, I have done 181,981 stitches across almost all of my pieces. There's one piece that I have not touched, and that is Little Dreamer Tree by Amy Stewart, and I've been a bit on the fence about it and whether I want to actually finish it or not, and what I'm going to do with it once it is finished. And I think not working on it for 6 months is kind of an indication in itself that it's not going to end up to be finished, and it's probably going to be a UFO. So I've got all my pieces here stacked in a box, about 3 boxes here, and that as well. Was missing my tablet. So I will start by showing them in order of when they've been started as much as possible. So starting with my oldest and finishing with my newest pieces. So let's start with Lackadaisy Card Shark. This is a Heaven and Earth Designs piece based on the artwork by Tracy Butler. It is stitched on 25 count 1/1, and this has had 5,180 stitches, which brings it to 11.41% finished so far. And here is where I'm at now. I don't think I'll show you pictures from the start of this year. I will probably just show a picture of what it's going to look like in the end. And as you can see, I think from memory I was somewhere over here. So I've done a bit on this one. And I think I've kind of worked out a system of how this piece is going to work. So it has got, it's got all this black border, and then when you get into this inner section, it's quite confetti heavy, more so than other pieces. So it takes a bit to work out a system of working on this one. So yeah, I am probably going to take a bit longer to do this one than my last one because I've accumulated a few more pieces, so I'm just grabbing each piece out as I need it. The next piece I've got is Dragon Race Into the Night. This is also a Heaven and Earth Designs based on the artwork by Rose Khan, stitched 25 count 1/1, and this has had 79,614 stitches since the start of this year, which brings it to 15.79%. So some of you may have noticed that this is the piece that I was working all the way across the top on, the top row pages, and I've done a little bit in this corner on the tree, but we are all the way across on the top row pages, so I'm really happy with that and its progress. Some of these big pieces I find they get neglected because they're so big. It takes so many stitches to get a percent on them, meaning that other pieces seem to get a bit more attention because they're going to be easier to finish. You've got to be in, for some of those larger ones, you're in them for the long haul. They're not going to be a year finish, they're going to be a couple of years or more. Okay, the next piece I've got is Archer. This is a Pain-Free Crafts chart based on the artwork by Ismira, and this one has had 11,524 stitches this year, and it is just about at 50%. So this is also stitched 1/1 on 25 count. It is at 49.88%. So here is where it's at. It is looking amazing. I am loving it. I'm really looking forward to finishing it. It's going to be spectacular. So the next piece is Planets Align number 6, and this is my one that I am aiming for a finish this year, and I'm tracking along quite nicely for that. This has had 30,887 stitches over the last 6 months, and this is a Tilt and Crafts piece which is based on artwork under the Common Creative License. So here is where it's at now. I am on the bottom row of pages, and I am loving how it's looking. So this is also on 25 count 1/1. I'm sorry if it seems like I'm rushing through these a little bit, so feel free to pause and have a closer look at any of these pieces. I just don't want to keep you all here for too long. I'm sure some of you have much better things to be doing. Okay, the next one I will show you is, very briefly, is Little Dreamer Tree, and once I find it in the bag, hang on. So this one has not had any work over the last 6 months, and it is stitched on 25 count 1/1. It is about 10%. Oh, Planets Align is at 73%. But Little Dreamer Tree is at 11.05%, with nothing having been done over the last 6 months, and I think a lot of my hesitation stems from it being a really awkward size and shape to actually do anything with, because it's very long and narrow. It kind of would take up a lot of valuable wall space that I could use for other pieces. As much as I love it, I'm just not sure I can see it on my wall, and as such I will see how I feel over the next 6 months, but I think there's a very high chance that this one is going to end up being a UFO. Alright, that is all the pieces in my first tub. So next one, starting with pieces started in, I think, hang on, just bear with me for a moment because I'm pretty sure, yes, okay, so that was all of the pieces I've got left from 2021, and now we're starting on the pieces that I have started since 2021. So first piece I have is also a Pain-Free Crafts, and this is Blackbeard based on the artwork by Adrian Chesterman. This is stitched on 25 count 1/1, and this one has not had a lot of attention this year. it has had 1216 stitches on it, and I'm still in the sky. Unfortunately, this one has not got a lot of attention because I've got a lot of other pieces with a lot of blue in them, and as such this one just hasn't had the priority because it is one of my newer pieces. I need to work on it more, but it just hasn't happened so far. I do love it, so it's not going to end up a UFO, it's just a little bit more difficult. Okay, the next piece is Wizard Septimus. This is a Heaven and Earth Designs piece, and it is based on the artwork by Jan Patrick Krasny. This one has had 12,952 stitches on it over the last 6 months, and it is currently at 7.67%. So, hold on. This is stitched 1/1 on 25 count, and this is using CXC thread. So you'll see I think I've got 2 and a bit pages after this page left to go across the top, and you can see there's the top of the hood of the wizard's robes, and also all of this is from his staff, the little starbursts and things like that. It's looking really cool. We've got clouds coming in over here, and this is at 7.67%. So I'm really happy with how this one's coming along. It's probably had a bit more attention than some of my other pieces just because it is relatively easy to work on. And it's got a lot of different colours in it. So the next piece, Mini Heart of the Storm. This is also a Heaven and Earth Designs piece based on the artwork by Lisa Parker. And this is another one of those situations where it's got a lot of blue in it, but this one I am hoping for a finish next year, so it has had a bit of attention. This one has had 7,403 stitches, and this one is stitched on 25 count 1/1 as well, and it is currently at 36.1%. So the top row of pages are finished, and I'm starting on the second row of pages. Okay, the next one is a rather large piece. This is my, Mythical Alphabet by Pain Free Crafts, based on the artwork by Stanley Morrison. This was the 2020 stitch along, and this is aimed for a finish hopefully by the end of this year. And this has had 26,209 stitches on it, and this is a little bit awkward. The good thing about this piece is that it's not a landscape or anything like that, so I can fold it in half and show it to you like this. There. Or pretty much in half. Okay, so you'll see we've got A to M all in there, and all of the border is completed, and then I've got N and part of O. Hang on, let me just bring that up a bit. There we go. And all of the bottom half of the border is finished as well, so all I've got left is finishing O and then working through the rest of the alphabet through to Z, which is really cool. This is stitched on 28 count 2/2, and has a lot of back stitching on it, each individual letter. Sorry, I will probably cut that one out, that cough, hopefully. Anyway, moving on to Little Helpers. This is a paint-free crafts piece, and this one was started around about this time last year for our Matariki long weekend. And this one so far has had 4,273 stitches on it this year, and it is at 12.25%. So this is stitched 1/1 on 25 count, and let's just bring it in a bit closer and you can see it's really coming along. I've got a dragon which should be coming through at the bottom of this page, but has not as yet. Okay, and that one is also stitched 25 count 1/1. I'm sure you're seeing a bit of a theme here. Most of my pieces that are full coverage, actually I should say all of them that are full coverage, are stitched 1/1 on 25 count. The next one I have is Mini Magic Mirror. This is a Heaven and Earth Designs piece based on the artwork by Anne Stokes. And this one is at 12.74%, and you can see there's a fair bit of confetti going on, but it is amazing how much detail all of that confetti has meant is there. It's a pretty small piece with only 80,000 stitches in it, and so I've done about 10,000 of them, 5,000 this year. So makes it at 12.74%, and I'm happy with the progress. It's just pretty heavy confetti for that one. Okay, on to the last box. So I just need to do some rearrangements of my stacks, otherwise I will be bending down far too much. No, we'll grab the other box too. There we go. Sorry about that. Okay, the next piece I have is the Christmas Lodge, which was my December start last year, and this is also a Heaven and Earth Designs piece based on the artwork by Dominic Davidson, and this one has had 3,266 stitches on it this year. So hang on, stray thread. You can see I am still working on those curtains, but I am getting there for at least the top row pages. So once I get that top page done, I will move along and get something a little bit more interesting than curtains done. But the curtains are looking really cool. So the next piece, oh, and that one also 25 count 1/1. Okay, the next piece is A Night for Enchantment. This was my New Year's start for 2023, so there aren't that many more to show you, probably about another 6 or 7, something like that. So this one has not had a whole lot of work on it this year. It has had 4,327 stitches, which is like 1.5%. It hasn't got a lot of focus because I've been trying to get some of my older pieces getting a bit more attention. So you can see here, that is all that's done on it. and this is a Heaven and Earth Designs piece based on the artwork by Drazinka Kimple. Oh, my nose. It's so itchy. I don't know why. Anyway, moving on. It's probably because I have been getting a bit of a cold and trying to fight it off at the same time. It doesn't seem to be working very well at the moment. Okay. This one is going to come all the way out. Alright. Not that one. That one. The next one I have is Celtic Summer. This is a lavender and lace piece, and this is on 28 count linen, hand dyed by Chromatic Alchemy, and this is in the colour Jolie. So, sorry, I've got Luna sitting beside me on some paper. So this is Celtic Summer, and I have done 11,385 stitches on it, and it is really, hang on. Not wanting to sit quite right. Okay, so that is where this one is at, and you can see that I'm getting close to the bottom. So the large motifs, we've got this half finished one, and there's a part of another one. I've got a needle there. We will just collect that and find that it's home later on. And I've got a couple more of the little ones on this side, and then just heaps more of her dress to finish. So that is Celtic Summer. There are another couple, but you'll see them shortly. Okay, the next one I've got is Searching for God. Which is a Gecko Rouge piece, and this is based on the artwork by Jonas Dyke, and this is also stitched on 25 count 1/1. Where is it? Here. This is at 8.49% and has had 8,491 stitches on it, and this is on 25 count 1/1, and you're just starting to see a bit more of the green, which is giving it a lot more definition. It's going to take a bit more before we get some of those brighter greens in it, and it will really make some of those dark colours really stand out, hopefully. The next piece I have is Celtic Autumn, and this is also a lavender and lace piece stitched on Chromatic Alchemy's dyed fabric called Aspen, and this is on 28 count linen stitched 2/2, much like Celtic Summer is, and you can see I have done 5,624 stitches on her. So she's coming along, but I have decided to focus on getting Celtic Summer finished and not so much focus on Celtic Autumn, Winter, and I'll probably start Celtic Spring, but it won't get a lot of attention until it's time. Okay, the next piece I have is, my containers aren't stacking very well now. they're feeling very lopsided. Okay, so the next piece I have is my supersized Winter Wonderland, and this is a Heaven and Earth Designs piece based on the artwork by Philip Straub, and this one has had 4,282 stitches on it this year, and you can see that's what I've done. So initially I started down here and then counted up to the top because this was my mystery piece at the time. So counting up to the top helped me a lot in that time. I just have not had a chance to work on it since. And this one is worked on 25 count 1/1 using CXC threads. So I think this one might be at what, 1%? I imagine, maybe not even that. 0.76%. So this one needs to get a bit more attention on it, and it will. It's just been, I've been trying to focus on some of my other pieces. Okay, this next one is the Halloween Village piece, and okay, where's the fabric? I'm seeing the threads in here, no fabric. Okay, it's fallen out in my stacks because I opened the bag earlier to make life a little bit easier doing this, and then it's fallen out. Okay, so this one is the Halloween Village, and this is what it's going to look like. I'll probably put a bigger, better picture in when I do editing. And this is a Stony Creek piece, and this one has had 8,139 stitches on it so far this year, and this is stitched on Whisper 28 count even weave, stitched 2/2 using CXC threads. And sorry, the sun has really come in and is making that black look very sparse coverage. It's not, it's just the way it's looking. Hang on. Nope. Yes, it is right, facing the right direction. Sorry, it's just the way it's looking. Okay, that's it. So that is all of my pieces, and we'll return to a normal, regularly scheduled video next weekend. But I hope this has helped you all out. And oh, actually, no, there's one more. I'm not even sure I would really call this one much of a start as yet. This piece is the last of the Celtic ladies that I've started, and it is Celtic Winter. And this is a lavender and lace stitched on Midnight Tryst. This is at 800 stitches on it. I wonder if I do this will it work better. It's not showing up very well just because I've got all this sunlight that's just come through. So you can see I'm just up on the top section of all of these borders. I've got one colour that's not showing up as well as it should. So I'm in the process of debating what to do with it. I might switch it out yet. I've got some silks from Silks For You that might work to switch that one colour out, and it might be enough. But I will think about that next time I work on it, which probably won't be until Celtic Summer is finished. Okay, and that is definitely all of the pieces I've got now. So again, thank you for joining me, and I hope you're having a wonderful week, and that you're finding time to do the stitching that you would love to do, and anything else that takes your fancy. So thank you for joining me, and enjoy the rest of your day. Bye.